Does your child know what to do when bullying happens? That is what True Martial Arts is asking for their Bully Buster event, taking place on Saturday, October 18th. This event is designed to equip kids with essential tools to handle bullying confidently and calmly as children participate in hands-on, age-appropriate scenarios that teach assertiveness and de-escalation. Matthew Sikora, the owner and chief instructor for True Martial Arts West Bloomfield, joins us now on the Splash Live to tell us more. Matthew, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me on, Jake. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Of course, and this is a very important topic. Bullying, unfortunately, something that I'm sure every school deals with, what every kid, I'm sure, either witnesses or deals with at some point, and it's important that this information is out there. So what inspired True Martial Arts to create the Bully Buster event?
Well, we find ourselves as martial arts instructors and as school owners on the front lines of this battle of bullying, because many times what happens is parents and families, when their kids are going through something like that, they're really not quite sure where to turn. So oftentimes they're looking for something to boost their child's confidence, to equip them with skills. God forbid they were ever had to defend themselves physically. And a lot of times school guidance counselors, principals, teachers will kind of refer children that are going through these experiences to us. So, as a byproduct of the whole situation, martial arts instructors have become really warriors on the front lines of this battle.
That's absolutely right. And it's great that you guys are doing your part to help educate these kids. And you said parents express a lot of concerns about bullying. What would you say are maybe the most common concerns that parents have about bullying, and how does this event address them?
We see a lot of parents come in whose children are going through a hard time at school or outside of school in whatever group that they're in. And oftentimes parents, with their best intentions will, it's not till these things are happening that they turn to try to find solutions for them. So that's the unfortunate truth of the situation, is that, many schools are doing their very best to try to equip children with tools within the school, to try to create a culture within their school of anti-bullying. But unfortunately, a lot of times parents aren't turning to find solutions until their children are already going through a hard time. So what we want to try to do is reach out to the community in shows like this and through these events that we're putting on, to try to encourage families and parents to focus on prevention. Like an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So we want to help, prevent these situations from happening.
That's right. And you guys are providing a lot of great resources at this event. As I said, age-appropriate scenarios that teach assertiveness and de-escalation. How are the activities tailored to be age-appropriate yet effective in teaching self-defense and conflict resolution?
So bullying studies on bullying show that it really is most prevalent in grades 5, 6, 7. That's really where we're seeing a rise in that. That's where those 5th, 6th, and 7th graders are turning to us for help. So in terms of it being age appropriate at events like we put on, and this goes on in our regular traditional programs year round as well, they're broken off into groups and discussing topics that are more relevant to their age group, right? Where, maybe cyberbullying isn't relevant to a 3rd and 4th grader, but it is for a 7th or 8th or 9th grader. So we try to do our best to make sure that we're bringing topics to them that are relevant for their age group.
That's important, and that's really, really good that you're tailoring these classes and these topics to these kids. That's great to see. Now, martial arts can provide a lot of things for these kids. Obviously, it can provide physical fitness and exercise, but it can also provide emotional resilience and confidence in these kids. How would you say these classes help to showcase those resources?
That's a great question. And, we want to equip children with the skills to be able to defend themselves. We want to equip children with the skills to stand up for themselves and be and it's through confidence that that happens. And it's not the type of confidence, not that there's anything wrong with this, but it's not the type of confidence that you get from scoring a goal, playing soccer or a touchdown, playing football. That's really great. But what we want to prepare them with the type of confidence that they can carry with them at all times, that they can defend themselves, and the type of confidence, like, oh, I've been through this before, I've role played this situation many times before, and I know exactly what to say here. So I feel like that confidence comes from experience. It comes from through achievement, through something like martial arts training. So more than anything else, it's really providing that unshakable brand of confidence that martial arts can provide for kids.
I love it, and I can't wait to see what these kids are going to be taking away from this class. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Matthew Sikora, the owner and chief instructor for True Martial Arts in West Bloomfield, talking about the Bully Buster event that's going to be taking place on Saturday, October 18th, to help kids combat bullying safely. Now, you guys have held, I'm sure you guys have held events like this in the past, especially events to help kids and help them gain this confidence and these physical skills. What kinds of transformations do you typically see in children who attend True Martial Arts and events like this?
It's incomparable. I mean, to anything else, right? Like the type of transformation that we see in children that kind of grow up in a martial arts school is really quite incredible. There's all of the major challenges that kids are going through these days. There's not a single one of them that it's not addressed by martial arts, bullying being one of them, obesity, just physical fitness, confidence, building discipline, all of the things and skills that coaches want their players to have on the field, that teachers want their students to have in the classroom. There's not a single one of them that's not addressed by a martial arts program run properly. Right. So that's designed to help build their confidence. So we see transformations in kids that, everything from just a new level of physical fitness that provides them confidence, or taking kids that maybe don't innately have that, that unshakable self-confidence, and slowly building them up over time. And that's the thing about martial arts, is there's no season of martial arts. It's not like they do it for 6 weeks and at the end of the 6 weeks we send into the world with a new level of confidence. Something that these types of skills and of attributes that we're talking about are something that it's slowly built over time. Right. So if going back to that prevention piece, getting involved with a program like that early, whether it be our program or somebody else's, is so important. I can't think of a single thing that would be more important. Having children myself, just knowing that they're going to go out to school each day, out in the world each day, being willing to stand up for themselves, having confidence in who they are, being willing to stick up and be a leader for other children around them. I mean, what could be more important than that?
Absolutely. You said it best. And I'm so happy you just mentioned the fact that you are a parent yourself, Matthew. You have kids. I'm curious, what role do parents play in reinforcing the lessons that are being taught during events like these?
Yeah, that's a great question, right? And I feel like it's on us as parents to prepare our children, right? And like, we as parents in the modern day have so many responsibilities, and life moves so fast that it's I think a lot of times parents when they come to us and their children are experiencing bullying, they're kind of flabbergasted that the school allows this to happen, or that the school didn't step in earlier. And in some cases that's true, right? But we as parents have to take full responsibility for our kids and help prepare them for these situations. There's no, schools are doing so many things these days, and being able to be everywhere all the time is impossible. So we have to take it upon ourselves as parents to teach our children these skills, or find the people who can, and then reinforce that. Talk to our kids, right? I know my kids get uncomfortable with it, but I role play with them. Hey, what would you do in this situation? Or what would you say if someone said something like this to you? And unfortunately, there's no one conversation that's going to prepare them for everything. It has to be something that's reinforced each and every day. Finding things for them that turn them to confident individuals that are willing to, look somebody in the eye, mean what they say, be assertive, teach them about, making eye contact with someone, how to properly introduce themselves to someone, because all of these things are prevention measures that need to be put in place for kids to feel safe when they're interacting with their classmates. So parents have all of the responsibility, and unfortunately, are not necessarily equipped themselves for how to teach this. So finding people in the community that are is really, really important.
That is absolutely right. And as I've been saying, it's great that you are providing those resources for all of these kids in Greater West Bloomfield. Matthew, I got one more question before we wrap things up.
Sure.
Where can people go to learn a little bit more information about the Bully Buster event and maybe about some future events that True Martial Arts has in store in the future?
Yeah, thank you. So if you go to our website, bloomfieldmartialarts.com, it'll give you all of the avenues to get in touch with us. This community event that we're putting on October 18th is a free community event. It is it's going to be a service to the community that we put out there. We want to get this education out there. We want to provide an avenue for families that feel like they need that ongoing training. But more than anything else, just get that education piece out there. So reach out to us on our Facebook page. You can find out more information about the event. Feel free to reach out to us by visiting our website, bloomfieldmartialarts.com, and we're happy to give you any guidance that we can in trying to point you in the right direction to find the right type of training for your child.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see what's to come. Matthew, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.